Hi, Guido Fox here. Welcome bij a new book report. Today I want to talk with you about the book Behind a Thousand Names. Behind a Thousand Names of Osho, 360 pages of spiritual knowledge. And the title is already very important. Behind a Thousand Names is behind labeling. Behind labeling, we are always putting people in boxes. We are always putting people in that's a good guy, that's a bad guy, that's a left wing guy, that's a right wing guy, that's a man, that's a woman, that is an accountant, that is a tax lawyer, that is a professor. That. The society gave our names and ranks. He's general, he's starting military guy, hierarchy. You're a Muslim, you're an Orthodox Christian, you're a Buddhist. People are putting labels on people. And that is a destructive behavioral pattern, because you become identified with your projected names. You become identified with a false projection of others and the society. They create a false identity, a false confidence mechanism. I am director. Now I have confidence. Boxes also is anti-grow, because you cannot grow out of your box. No, stay in your box. You're homosexual. No. Stay in your box. You are dead. You are not more than homosexual. That's your being. It's not more. If you are a compassionate and lovable person, no, it's not important. If you share love and compassion and you bring something in the world, no, you're a label. Label is to hold people small. Do not let them grow. So Beyond Thousand Names is a very deep, essential title. Very essential title. Because your real identity is no box. Your real identity is beyond society conditionings. Your real identity is not a society construct. It's a society construct. Your real identity is beyond the society construct. If I ask people, who are you? They are always mention what they did. I'm an owner of a business. I did a kind of studies. But they never mentions who they actually are. And they don't know. Because they didn't find the divine source. So you don't know who you are. You create a society projection on who you are. But you don't know on the deeper level who you actually are. So the title of this book is already very essential. Beyond 1,000 names. Your talk, your mind is conditioned by society. What you say is not what you are saying. And that is very interesting and very confronting. You are thinking that you are saying is what you say. But 90% of what you're saying is imprinted by colleges, society, fathers, brothers, parents. You're all conditioned by your surroundings. So be aware if you're not going into meditation, if you're not become clear and anti-dust mechanisms, that probably is what you're saying is actually imprinted by society. So what you're saying is not your real, is not what you are real, your own source is saying. So therefore people are talking the same. They're the same conditioned. Rising is your own path. Your soul wants to rise. Your soul wants to have more higher consciousness levels. Your soul wants to go higher. That's what your soul wants, but your mind resists. Your ego-mind relationship resists by the wish of the soul. So your soul wants to become enlightened, but your mind says, no, we stay here. We stay in our old identity. Alone is the path, breaking the ego identity, and then you reach non-duality. Non-duality is the most misunderstood and misinterpreted word in spirituality. Non-duality is nothing more than completely centered and connected with your 7 centers. Non-duality is nothing and nothing more than that connection. That connection is non-duality. Then you're rising and rising to deeper and higher spiritual realms. Non-duality is oneness. Non-duality is wholeness. That is what non-duality is. And then you create a sharp and clear mind, without rubbish, without projected social conditions by society, by your friends, by your parents, by your grandparents, all the things, what they say to you are away. That's also the standard life coaching advice and lesson is you become the 5 most intimate people in your surrounding. You become the five friends. If you're seeing 5 friends regularly, you become the average of them. You don't have that anymore if you are going into meditation. You find your own source. And you think by yourself and you don't let people coming into you, influence you. You create a sharp and clear mind. Detachment. A real spiritual guy or woman act from detachment. So that's with your relationships, your friends, family, dates. You can easily say goodbye if you are not feeling comfortable with the energy of the other person. Of course, not from the one of the other day, but you have the power to say goodbye. The power to say goodbye so you can grow and you're not hunting anymore on someone. You act from effortless. You act from effortless connections. You act from effortless bonding patterns, effortless relationships. You're not going into a rat race, a cat and mouse relationship dynamics. You're going into more and more effortless connections. And if something doesn't work anymore, you let it go. And you let it go from your body, and you let it go from your mind. So everything becomes more water. Everything becomes more fluid. Everything becomes more of water. It becomes easy. It's becoming more relaxing, your relationships, because you're not constantly wants to pick someone and then someone comes closer to you and then you push someone away. Effortless life. Effortless way of dealing with relationships. That's becoming the future. The mind is lazy. The mind stays in something what is familiar, what is easygoing. Sexual unfulfilling. And this is a very interesting topic in the still Western monogam conditioning. You're not allowed to, in principle, have sex and love outside your relationship, outside your emotional relationship. I think it's very healthy to spike your energy, to know what you have, to get alive a little bit. But we are still conditioned that it's not acceptable to have sex outside your marriage. And Osho was always pro freedom. Freedom first, and then love will come. Still, very few people are sexually fulfilled. They're still in the hunting phase. They cannot get what they want. They're sexual frustrated. The reason for this is that even before the energy and strength for sex is allowed to accumulate, it's already dissipated. The fruit is not allowed to really ripen. So people living in a sexual volcano. And that's what I see by men and women. And then if they are 50 and 60, they want to have more variation. And they're frustrated. So they miss the chance, because Osho are saying here accumulative energy. Accumulative energy. You have to be sexual free in all your life to get the sexual energy and to transfer that energy to spiritual energy. Buddha had 400 kubinas of 400 women. Only when there is no suppression anymore, no wishes anymore, you are completely sexual fulfilled, you can reach higher spiritual vibration energies. You understand that? Only sexual accumulative energy is needed to transfer to spiritual higher levels. So you have to be sexual free. You have to be free. No strings attached. Otherwise it is impossible, because your freedom and your sexual freedom is your battery, is your energy. Not restrain yourself, not suppress yourself. Remember, the more powerful a person is, the sooner he will be free of desires. So first you have sexual desires, then there is fulfillment. But you have to go through that phase. And then you can let go and you become free of desires. But it's always with phases. Your life is always going in phases. You have to remember that. You have to go through phases to explore and to have trials and errors. And for life experiences to mature, much energy is needed. Much energy is needed. And sexual energy can give you that energy. And that is what I want to share with you, is that only peace and compassion can exist by sexual freedom. Only in sexual freedom you can flowering. You can be yourself. You can be an individual. There's no other way to go than religious growth through sexual freedom. Thank you for watching this video, and I see you in the next video. Hi.